What it do, y'all? What it do? What it do? You know who it is. The Bro Foundation. We back. We live. You know what's going on. Don't stop playing. Stop back like you don't know what we're doing over here. You know, we live. We you know what we're doing. You know what it is.
Yes, sir.
You know, got a mindset. You got Jay Hunter, Koki. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yes,
just
sir.
we back. You know what I'm saying? We here to bring them profound conversations to brothers and sisters all across the nation, everywhere.
Yes, sir.
You know, so now we appreciate y'all continue to tap in with us. Our brother Henry is out this week. You know, he's you know got family duties to take care of. So yeah, so you know, like I said, you know, he'll be back next week, and just shout out to him and his family. Yeah, you know, we gonna hold it down for him, and yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. And like I said, he gonna be here with us, even though he ain't here physically on the Zoom chat with us, on the live with us, but he, you know, he's here. So yeah, man, like I said, we like to bring the topics that, you know, have a profound effect, if you will, on this life in general, you know. And today we want to talk about what it means to live for your future self. You know, your future self is somebody, and you know, we all should have an idea of what that means, right? Like everybody has things that they want to accomplish, goals, dreams, aspirations, and things that they want to accomplish that things they might not be doing right now, or they, you know, there's a place that they want to be soon, and you can see what that person looks like. You know, there might be some things that you have to do in your life to get to that to get to that level, to be that person. But you should have those visions. I know I have those visions all the time of what my future self really is, and I'll have that feeling, and it feels good. But like I said, when it comes to getting there are some things that you know you have to change about your life. There's some things that you have to um, do differently and elevate. You know, there's some things that you have to change about yourself. So it's important for your future self that you start on doing that sooner than later. You know, you don't want your future self looking at you like, "What's going on, man? What are you doing?" What, I'm waiting. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm waiting for you to get here.
Right.
The sooner you start, the sooner the better. You know, the sooner that you can you know sync up and be in I guess you would say symbiotic. You know, your paths you would be aligned with your path. So yeah, man, we just wanted to just kind of talk about the importance of you know, living for your future self, not living for your current state, but what that truly means too. So we want to get started. You know, what I mean, go around the clock like we usually do, and yeah, we'll just all tap in on it.
I want to start off address about living your life without any limitations. And the biggest thing that I experienced over time and that I stopped doing is always thinking that it's too late to start something. And I always want to put a time frame on, oh, I should have this by now, or I should be here by now, or my mind, like, and you have to stop doing that to yourself because everything involves time. You have to understand that everything's going to go in this time. You might not be mature enough yet for that time. You might need to learn a little more about something else for like to make it to that point. And it's just so much pressure that we put on ourselves where you could just understand that, okay, this might not be the time for this right now, but I'm gonna keep my dreams and my hopes and my visions alive until I get to that point to where I'm able to live the way that I want to live or whatever that blessing or thing that you're thinking about. So a lot of times, like my mom used to always say, because she used to, and when I got older, I understood what she was doing. She started to like try to live her life through us, me and my sister. Or it's almost like, okay, you can make it to the NFL, son, and you're gonna buy me this big house or this or that. And at one point in your life, did you allow your dream to die? You know what I mean? Because my mom always wanted, she loves to read. She always wanted a library. She wanted her own bookstore, and that was before me and my sister was ever created. This was something that she wanted to do. And she still talks about that. And she's 65 years old now. And I said, Mom, it still ain't too late. Colonel Sanders was what, damn near 70 before KFC got established and got it popping. You might not. I heard one guy say this one time, because he was saying you might not see everything that your visions, you might be dead off and gone by then, but as long as you plant that seed, and it's going to continue to grow, so you don't know how much, like even with Walmart, Sam Walton, he wasn't able to see where it's at right now, worth billions and billions of dollars, like for something that he went ahead and he just ignited that fire and he started Walmart. So all of us is benefiting off of Walmart right now because of his passion and his dream and his goals that he stuck with, just for him to do it. You might not get rich off of it, but if you started off, somebody else might be able to. Your family, your kids, their kids. So it just starts with you having your dreams and your goals, your visions, and putting it into the future, man. Like, because the future is more, they always say the future is bright, which is the truth, because there's a lot more that you have to live to see. So keep going and never stop dreaming. Keep that passion alive, keep that fire lit, and everything else is gonna be history, man. So I can't wait to hear what y'all brothers gotta say, man, because we about to dive into this thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just to kind of veggie back off of what you said, though, it's like there's no limitations to this thing called life, especially when it comes to the life ahead of us. We operate understanding that there is a time clock. We operate under knowing that there is a biological clock as well. But for me to even think about what my future looks like, I gotta first know who I am. I look at it like, for me to be able to reach the highest potential of who I am, I have to first know where I am and who I am. And for me, it's like, who am I? Who am I in this current space? Not just this body that I'm living in, but the way that I think, the way that I move, my habits. And I start to think of things like that. So it helps me understand, like, okay, there's this voice that's inside your head right now. And this voice inside your head lived there rent free. It live in all of us rent free. And the more and more we lose sight of controlling what that brings, that message says, or that voice says in our head, the less we really are able to be in this present moment to now be able to accept what we have right now to then think about the future. So that's like half of how I look at like what my future looks like. And then it's like, okay, well, where am I headed? Again, the more and more that I talk to myself, the more and more that I listen to that message in my head or that other voice in my head, I start to hear like, what is it talking about? Where am I going with all this conversation that he's having? Or she, you know what I mean? And it's just me talking to myself. And I start to realize like I'm just the observer of what my life looked like from the inside. So I'm observing what my brain is telling me from the outside looking in. So how can I even think about where I'm gonna be headed to? And I think of it like you said, Jesse, realizing that in this present moment, I am either the best version of myself or I got room for improvement, which of course I always got room for improvement, but I got to start laying down some type of layout and guideline to even get to a point. So it's not even just an external thing like, oh, I'm gonna have, X amount of this in 5 years. I'm gonna be living like this in 6 years. Yeah, those are the physical things, but first we got to dig deeper. Like, okay, well, how do I then want a house that's 300,000 if my habits don't even look like I can afford $100,000 house? You know what I mean? So it's just like tapping into the actual essence of who I am now, so I can create whatever outcome I want to have come 5 years from now, 10 years from now, however you want to look at it, so I can get there. And it's just really, laying out that foundation. You know what I mean? Like we all crawl before we walk. And the first time we got on the bike, we probably fell 5, 6 times, probably 15 times, but we got back up. And we just learned that resilience. We learned that, hey, you're going to fall, but you're going to fall 8 times, you're going to get back up 9. So as long as you have that understanding that you aren't who you are right now, this ain't your best version. It could be, but that just means that you got another step that you can take. There's another level that you can achieve. And the future is bright. The future is 5 minutes from now, it's 5 days from now, it's 5 years from now. So as long as I'm attacking this foundation, I'm just laying brick by brick out and I'm tapping into this inner self thought, is nothing that I can't not achieve in this future self. Whatever it is that I want, whatever it is that I seek, is really obtainable. As long as I put my head down, I can turn this inside thought off in my head. I can really be dedicated on this foundation that I'm creating. Like you said, Jesse, just planting the seed. It's okay if I don't get to see the full spectrum of the full rainbow, 50 years from now if I'm not living. But as long as I plant that seed now, that plant that seed of the physical, the mental, the spiritual, and the emotional, whatever I plant, lay out, oh, it's definitely gonna be a brighter day, a brighter future for not just me, but those that I affect as well. So yeah, we can go deeper than that, man. That's just how I feel, at least just to start there.
No, absolutely, man. There's a few things kind of, speaking truth to both of you guys' power. It's like you said, just, it's never on our time frame. Like things don't happen according to us. You know what I mean? Like in a sense, but still we have to do the work like it does. You still have to do the work in the meantime, because if you're not doing the work, you're not gonna get there. Whenever it happens, it's gonna happen when it's supposed to. It's like you said, right? It's gonna happen when it's supposed to. But if you're not putting in the work and the effort right now, and whatever that looks like, then you're not ever gonna get to that point. You're not ever gonna get there. So you still got to do the work. It's just like the whole saying of fake it till you make it, right? Like it's not you're not faking it. You're not faking it. You're just putting yourself in that space. Like if I know who I want to be, in a sense, the things that I'm looking to accomplish and attain and have or whatever, it's like, what does that look like? What does that mean? What do I have to do right now? And you have to do you have to do, even though you might not be there yet, you still have to walk in that air, because that's going to propel you to that space. You know what I mean? So even though like I said, it's going to take some work. It's going to take, like you might not be where you need to be, but if you're not doing those things that you are supposed to, how can you ever get there? Right? Like people will say all the time, like when they, oh man, I can't wait till I get some money. Like if I win the lottery or whatever, then I'll know how to save money. I'll know how to manage money. No, you won't. Because if you can't manage money right now, how you gonna manage it if you can't manage $1,000, how you gonna manage $10,000? How you gonna manage $100,000? You know what I mean? Like, so you can't think that as soon as you get there, that's when you're gonna make the change. You see people all the time talk about until I meet the person of my till I meet my person or whatever. I'm just gonna be out here living my life and doing this and so till I meet my wife, I'm gonna be out here wilding. Till I meet my husband, I'm just gonna be out here living my life. You ain't gonna meet them then, because you're not gonna be able. You're not just gonna be able to turn that off. No, you gotta be the person that you want. That you want. If you want a good woman in your life, you gotta be a good man right now. Right? You gotta be that. You gotta be a representative of that person right now. For women, if you want a good man in your life, you can't just be out here wilding, doing stuff online on the internet, and thinking that your man is still going to present himself. Nah, because you're not, the energy that you're putting out doesn't represent that. So how you think you're gonna get that man that you want if the energy that you're putting out ain't represent that? So like I said, saying on the other side for the fellas too, if you're out here hitting any and everything, but you want to be a husband, you want to have a, you know what I mean, you want to have a good family life and you know, all that. You gotta be that man right now. It's not gonna be, oh yeah, as soon as I find her, then nah, you gotta be that right now. You know what I mean? And then and like kind of like, you know, I guess you say back piggybacking off the, it doesn't happen in your time, man. Like you, it took me for me to have a setback in order for, you know, because like a long time ago, I was like, you know, yeah, I got to give my credit to this, I got to do this, I want to do this and this and this and that, but I still wasn't there mentally yet, right? I still didn't understand the importance of it to a degree. I knew I wanted it. I knew I felt like I deserved it, but I was still slacking in certain areas, right? So it took for me to get homeless, to lose opportunities on jobs and homes before I realized, like, I got to get on my game. You know what I'm saying? I got to get going, and that was the boost that I needed. It took for me to be in a state of homelessness before I fully got to the point. Now I'm at a 700 credit score. You know what I'm saying? I can almost apply for almost anything, and I'm going to get guaranteed. I'm going to get it. You know, not just because of the score, but because I worked on my profile. You know what I'm saying? I worked out that because that's what makes that difference. But if I wouldn't have jumped ship from a good job, and lost another job, and then lost my apartment, and then lost, you know, my car totaled and all that. You know what I mean? Like all these things had to happen because on my way back up, I was like trying to get him back, and no, your credit's too bad. Oh nope, your credit's too bad. We can't do. Had a job, was this close to a job. You know, I don't say the job, you know, my dream job, but it was something that I really was looking forward to doing. Last minute, they yanked it from me because of my credit. I said, man, oh no, I'm not letting this happen ever again. You know, it took all that for me to realize, okay, this is what you got to do. Start putting in the work. Start putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? And so all that was because of the decisions that I was making at that time. Like I said, when we were chopping it up, the decisions that you're making right now are going to affect you 3, 5, 10 years down the road. So whatever you're doing right now should be reflective of the future self that you want. Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, like those are just some things to me, man. Like, you know, it's important that you make sure that whatever you are going after, you're going after it right now. It's not faking it till you make it. It's just putting yourself in that space so you can start manifesting it, so you can start affirming it, and the universe will start putting those things in place for you. Just like on Inception, when they were, you know, building the cities, when they was inside the dream world, like they're just walking and the things were just boom, 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 just being put in front of them, because that's what it takes, you know? So yeah, man, you just got to do the work. Got to do the work.
That's true. Why you smiling, Jesse?
Man, y'all brothers shooting darts
Hey.
over here, but it's just straight fire. I ain't even worried about my pain right now going through
Can't
my
even feel the
body.
pain
But
no more.
y'all gotta be fired up, man. Look, check this out. Check this out. This is how fired up I am, because y'all made me think about something. All right. So whenever you thinking about your future, pretty much, it's always almost guaranteed that it's something physical, right? You're thinking about, like with me, I'm thinking about palm trees, water behind me. Like this like that's my thing. I like all that type of background. Rick Ross playing in the background. It takes my mind somewhere. But y'all brothers brought out something that's even more like grounded for what you need to do, is the power of now, just like the book, man. You know, the power now, because you're not realizing that the steps that you got to take to get to that background. You know what I'm saying? Like what you said, Ty, you might have a 1,000,001 chance to hit that lottery, you know, and then, you know, I'm not talking to y'all, but I'm talking about the ones that trying to build and trying to get themselves to that part in life where it's like, I'm not going to depend on no ticket to get me there. I'm depending on my dreams and my ideas and everything that I want to get accomplished to get me to these spots or whatever I want to get done. But like what you said, Ty, the part of work, the work that you got to put behind that now that you want, you know, the future, the now, the thing that's inside of you, you have to put that work into it to get there, you know. And Cole, you brought out the same thing, man. It's y'all brought me to that, man, because like for me personally, you know, if you ask me like what my future looked like, I would tell you, oh, palm trees, beaches, you know, jet skis, you know, this is stuff that I want to see, the physical stuff. That's what I'm like. But to put that inside your mind, okay, how am I get there though? You feel what I'm saying? What I gotta do to get there? That's cool. And that's your goal. It just like what we always talk about, what y'all put me on, Atomic Habits. You know, what is your system to get to where that goal at right there, that future? That's where it belongs at. Like how like we talked about this a couple weeks ago about you know, Ty, you brought it up about what you're doing after work. You know, what's that thing that you work on after work, that your dream or your dream job or whatever you're trying to get, so you can get to where you want to get to. So you have to put the work in, you got to put that time in, and you got to believe and have faith in it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't believe and have faith in it, it's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work, man. And then a lot of times you got to look at it too, that your children and people that look up to you are looking at you to make these differences. It's like whatever you talking about, they listening. So it's like, okay, you know, I'm gonna start that business next week. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But they looking at it like, okay, are you gonna be a man or woman to your word and make this happen? Or are you just yapping? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
which one is it, man? Y'all helped me so much with those two things that y'all brought out, bro. Because when you think about it, it's like, okay, I got to sit down and map this out, bro. I can't just think about. It's cool to think about with the jet skis and all the waters and all that. That's cool to have, but how I'm going to get there, you know? And you have to live in the power of now. I don't even know if I can put that up there somewhere, but this book's like you got to live in the present time right now and understand that your future is there. You just got to reach at it. You just got to put yourself in position to win, to get to that. But we all live in that power of now right now. It's like what you're doing right now to make this happen. And that's what you need to answer to yourself, to your family, and to your future. Your future is waiting on you. All our future is waiting on us. There's all waiting on us. So it's baby steps to get there, but also you have to understand like it's going to be a journey, and you gotta write that journey down too, because that's the important part. Because everybody want to see the credits and the ending story, but nobody want to know the journey to get there. What that person had to go through. What, like Ty, you just said a list of things that you had to go through to get to your present moment right now. You get what I'm saying? And like how the universe been blessing you, brother. It's been a blessing to hear your story and to see you go through your story to where you at now, man. It's a whole nother person that I just met last October. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all of us is going through some changes. We're going through the things, but we are getting there. We're climbing the ladder to get to where we need to be. So thank you, brothers, because y'all really, bruh, that was a good point right there.
Hey, listen, it sounds like it's just some type of domino effect. Because as you talking, I'm just listening to what Ty said, connected to what you said, and I'm thinking like, damn, when we think about the future, how do we even get to a like you said, a visual of that? And I think shit, that's what dreaming is. Whether it's a dream in your sleep, whether you dream lucid, whatever. But I mean, we all heard these quotes. It's like, what's a dream with no action behind it? You feel me? If we got a dream with no type of goal, with no type of plan, no type of plan of action, that's just wasted potential. And it's like, let's keep it real. We ain't here to be wasted potential. God, universe, Allah, Buddha, whoever you bow to, whatever energy that you understand as a higher energy, when we was created on this earth, you gotta think about it. Our mama gave birth to us. God created us. why you walking around here with all this potential, all this information, all this knowledge, all these gifts, all these things that you can give to people to create this future, but you ain't even getting them to yourself. You know what I mean? Like the book, it literally go Atomic Habits, Power of Now. Atomic Habits basically call you out on what type of lifestyle habits do you have right now. And is these habits or these lifestyle things that you have, are they actually putting you in a position to seek what you now see in the future? And again, by the time you get to the end of that book, it's going to tell you like, okay, well, these are the steps I gave you to get there now, which is the power of the now. In the now, you now have to act and be those things, these new habits, these new ways. You have to talk, you have to act, you have to walk it to now see those things become into flourishing. And it's just like, we all got backstories, like you said. Todd done been through it. And you hear it, it's like, damn, I done been through it. And it's like similar situation. Like you lose, you get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up. And it's like, damn, all that's doing, we look at it like, damn, God, why me? And you like, no, why not me? You know what I mean? You building resilience in that same up and down hurdle and roller coaster that you're going through, not really seeing it as that. But it's like when you when you out of that situation and you ain't, from the bottom, the only way up. Is the only way up is top. So it's like now that you out of that situation, you can see like, damn, he was, I was just building resilience. I was building patience. I was, I was given the opportunity to show me what I'm worth. And now it's like everything after that realization, at least for me speaking, it kind of gives you like this peace of mind to accept the things as they are. Like, hey, like you said, Ty, I was at a whatever credit score, but because of these certain situations in my life, it was like, nope, I ain't going through that again. Now I'm at 700 because you wouldn't like that feeling that you felt and how that made you feel internally. And it's like, you know what, bro, I deserve better. Although the situation and circumstances you probably didn't even ask for, but what did it do for you? Now you get to be the mindset king that you are, and boom, I'm out here. Jay Hunter no different with you going through the whole diabetes situation. And now you realize, I'm like, it's people who actually look up to me being able to be so vocal and vulnerable about my situation. I was then able to now transfer that and get myself out of that negative situation. But in that whole process, you learn this stuff. You learn this stuff about yourself. You learn this stuff about food and nutrition. You can now help your family. You can help us. So it's like the future is right now. And it can even be a better future if we, like I said, lay out this foundation of these habits and existing in this energy that we have in this present moment. However, I also think that having these type of conversations, having these type of people in your circle, having like accountability partners, those the type of things that outside of just yourself that are now a pillar to help you get to those stages. It's like, hey, y'all, I told Jesse before we started, I'm gonna do a 36-hour fast. He's like, hey, bro, I'm gonna do it with you. But even if he don't do it, I still gave him my word that I need to do it because it's my idea. But again, because I'm sharing this information to y'all, now y'all come like, hey, bro, how was that fast? What hour are you at? Or whatever the case may be. But again, by myself, I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it. It may be hard, but now if I got you, I got Ty, I got Henry, I got whoever else in my corner helping me out. Now that community, now that tribe it's like they actually planting seeds too. Now it's like, oh, well, instead of me just planting, whatever I can carry in two hands, I got my brothers out here planting seeds for me while I'm planting seeds for them. And we just steady, dropping these little seeds into the foundation. And at this point, it's like, what can't we do? So it's just like, man, listen, there's one thing I say, or just having these conversations, we always picking up something that y'all putting down. I'm picking up what y'all putting down every single conversation. And I apply it in different parts of my life. And I just hope that on the other end of this video, whenever they get the same thing. Because that's all we trying to do is, like you say, Ty, elevate. And shit. That's what life is about, bro. That's the fun part. So it's like, it's fun once you can accept things as what they are. It may not be easy, but once you start looking at it differently, like I said, the future is very bright. Like you said, the future is bright. It's here. It's whatever you want it to be, as long as you put the work in. For real.
Window, man. I mean, and kind of speaking of what you were saying, it's important to kind of to people be there's two schools of thoughts, right? like certain people are like, I don't want to tell people what I'm doing because, you know, you might get negative attention or negative energy, feedback or whatever. But you don't tell everybody what you're doing. You got to know who to tell. You got to know who to tell. You know, we already know. Neo, you tell Big Dream to a small mind, what's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why you got to tell them to the right people. But by doing that, it's in a sense going to keep you accountable because you already put out there what you're doing with, you know, what you want to do. So if you, it allows you to, it's like, man, okay, I got to make sure that, you know, you post some shit online, you know, I'm doing this such and such, and then and say a month later, 2 months later, you ain't done it yet. You look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I say it is important sometimes to put out there into the world what you want to do. That way, it's going to keep you on. It's going to keep you in your square because you're like, damn, I done told everybody this is what I'm doing. I look stupid if I don't do it. You know what I mean? You have to do it. You know that's vitally important, man. So yeah, I definitely commend you guys on that. I'm gonna have to tap in with you guys and do that too. Honestly, you know I'll have to start tomorrow because we in the mindset. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. But and then another thing earlier, which you were talking about, Corey, about letting your mind affect what like it's like the my daily truth the other day about the master will be a master will be I forget exactly what I said. A master will be the king of his brain, while the the fool will be the slave of it. Your mind. So it's like your mind can really mess with you. And like I said, that's where the split between lower and higher self comes in. Those negative thoughts and stuff like that. That's all that lower self. That's that base self. But the higher your higher thinking, or when you're talking, the goals you're talking about accomplishing, the things you're looking to do in your life, that's that higher self. So you have to allow that part of you continue to lead the way, right? Like not let those negative thoughts control you because it's easy. We see that's why you got crime. That's where you got, all kind of different things that are going on in the world because those people who are taking part in those acts are letting their minds dictate what they do. They're not strong enough to mentally, strong enough to control, like say, nah, you know what? That's not something I want to do. That's not something I'm not doing that. I'm going this way. But once those people turn around their life after they've been through enough of that, and they say, you know what? I'm going this route. I'm going this route now. That's when they start tapping into their higher self and start controlling their thoughts and things that go on in their mind. Sometimes it takes longer than others, but once you get to that point, it's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. Speaking of something that you said too, Jesse, you got people around you who see, if you like I was saying, like you guys both said, if you tell people what you got going on, and it's like, okay, are you gonna do it or what? What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, you gonna make that move or not? You definitely got to do it. Sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking that. Let me back up. It's important that we realize, that future self might be scary. It might be daunting. It might be like, dang, it might not be something that you feel that you can get to, but you got to realize that you can, and also realize that you deserve it. Because that's what messes us up sometimes too, is that we don't think that we deserve it. Nah, man, you deserve any and everything that you're going after, man. When it comes to, changing life, elevating, and doing better for yourself, you deserve every bit of it. So we got to realize that and not let, like I said, those negative thoughts, those debased thoughts, control that. dictate that. That's why you can't speak to the. That's why you can't tell your dreams to the wrong person. You got to know who you can talk to, because man, you ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna who you think, you know what I mean? Yeah, right. That could be positive and negative. That could be, you can use that energy to fuel you and get to that level. You know what I mean? If you're strong enough, you will. But if you ain't mentally prepared, you can easily let those negative comments get inside your brains. Like, yeah, they're right, man. Who you think you are? You ain't gonna be able to do that. Such and such and such and such. But no, you gotta know, believe, and trust that you deserve to get to it. That you deserve any and everything that you're going after. So yeah, man, it's just your future self is right in front of you. And it's just like one of those things, man. Like, I think it was Denzel Washington that said, like, he said something to the effect of, think about it like this. If you when you die and you're at the gates of, if it's heaven, if it's, the afterlife, you are sitting at a table and the creator shows you everything that you could have been. Shows you everything that this is what I had vision for your life. This is where you were. If you would have given your all, this is what you could have accomplished. How are you gonna feel if you didn't even tap into none? You know what I mean? Like, if you didn't even tap into half of your potential, half of what you were capable of doing. I don't want to be there, and I want to be able to look like, yep, boom, yep, did that, yep. Boom, 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 boom. I want to be able to check off something, everything, if possible. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, yes. I'm not even gonna say unrealistically. No, I want to be able to check off everything that is sat in front of me. That, want him to look like, yo, check this out. I didn't even have this on your plate yet, but you even checked this one off. Like, that's where how I want to be. Even though it might take me longer, then might not be in my time frame. Like, I wanted to have my 700 credit score this time last year. It took me a little bit longer. I wanted to make 6 figures last year. I should hit that number this year. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be always in your time, but as you got to still be able to, you still got to do the work. You still got to put it in. And when it's right for you, then just like when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Straight up, same thing in life. Everything goes. So, yeah, man.
Oh, you talking to
man.
You dipped in that wisdom well today. That's what y'all did. The wisdom well around here. I ain't get the memo.
No, you got it.
Yeah, man. Because Cole, you said something earlier. You made me think about what Kevin Gates has said. He said, "A vision without action is merely a dream. That's all it is. It's just a dream." So without the vision, putting the vision and then you putting action into it, that's all you did was just dreamed about it. And I'm not no real big religious person, but and I also remember, like, in the good book, it was saying about it's always better to finish something than to start it. And finishing is way more, because we can always come up with ideas and dreams and goals, but if we don't finish it, and that means that you're putting work into it to get to those goals and make sure that they get accomplished. So it's just a matter of you just creating, like, and our minds ain't gonna ever stop imagination and creating, and it would never stop that. But it's nothing wrong with it. It's just putting a little action into it so you can get to where you want to be at. So I just thought that was a good point that you both brought out too as well, because what they say, like, faith without works is dead. It's another thing, it's just, if you don't have the faith to do it and the work ethic to get it done, it's dead. It's just what it is. Like Kevin Gates says, it's a dream. That's what it is. You just thought of it. You thought of a good idea. And just like they say, you know, a lot of the millionaires and trillionaires are in the ground already, you know, because they didn't never fulfill their purpose of what they need to do because they just started that dream. They didn't finish. They always started. You didn't finish what you start. So it's just conversations like these. It makes you think and it makes you want to do better. You know, it makes you want to put a plan together. And the biggest thing that you have to let cease out of your mind is that emotion called fear. You know, that thing right there can just make or break you, period. You know what I mean? You either gonna do it or you don't. And that's pretty much your only option. It's a 50-50 thing right there. You either gonna do it or you don't. And you know, and there's a lot of times I stop talking about if I know I ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? So, you know, like in the streets, you be like, hey, dog, you about that or you're not. It's either one of the two. It's not no giving. It is what it is. So you got to have that same mentality when it comes to your life and how you want to direct it. So you either get it or you don't, and that's what it's gonna be. And you can't get mad at the next man that's out there trying to get it because he putting in the work to go get it. So we got to make our minds up what we want. And that's the first step right there is realizing what you want. Not what Jesse want, not what Ty want, not what Corey want, not what him want, but what you want, you know, and you got to be the one to map that out because you're the captain of this ship, you know, and you got passengers on there. If you got kids, you got people, you got passengers on this ship too. So they depending on your moves, dog. So it gonna get rocky, but as long as you make it to your destination, that's all that matters.
Mm, Again, that wisdom, boy, it's deep. I see that wisdom well deep, but not just that fast. I just picked up on two things y'all both said. Ty, you talked about time again, and Jesse, you brought up the fact of fear. And my definition of fear, and I know it's probably a lot of other people's, is false evidence appearing real. Right? We can look at that as one definition. But then when I think about time, I'm like, well, what is time? It's a construct. It's not something you can buy a clock to tell you what time it is, but you can't replace it. You can never. There's no trillionaires, no billionaire that's out here with some type of, well, at least to our eyes or understanding, that's out here creating more time. Like, oh, you got 5 more years added to your life.
Right.
That's not a thing. Now we can maybe say if we eat better, we meditate, we do all these things. Yeah, we may be able to live a better life, but adding more time is not a thing. It's like money though, right? They continue to print money. So it's like we fearful of something that's not actually real, but we chasing something that's never not being printed. That don't make sense. Why are you scared to get something that's never not being printed up, but then you not using what's not real to get there? Again, time is just a construct of our brain. And again, just thinking about the power of now, because it's just one of those books, it's just like the less you have fear, the more you can operate in this now, in this current energy, in this current time frame that we have. And the more you can do that, whatever dreams, whatever admirations, whatever journey you want to take, you now can actually sit in that and, like you said, Jesse, come up with a game plan to get there. Because again, one, you're not fearing what you can't control, which is the time. But if we chasing a dollar sign, which I know a lot of us not really chasing a dollar sign, it's more so the freedom to do what we want. Again, that's going back to the time. So if you're just chasing the capability of now using your time the best way you want to do it without the dollar sign, you have a better chance of getting it because you're not hungry for something that you know exists. You're hungry for something that's existing within you. Like, oh, I want to be as present as I can be for my family or my kids' kids. And when it is gone, I want them to be able to reap the benefits of the seeds that I planted. So it's just like, dog, this futures thing that we talk about is like you said, is really what we make it. And that's as simple as we can put it. But to get there, what are you doing in the meanwhile while we embracing this journey, this thing called life? What are you doing to set yourself up or your family up or whomever to reach this future self? And I think the higher you vibrate, the higher you live like Ty said, at your higher self, which is, away from the negative thoughts, negative people, negative things and people or whatever. Now you always gonna be here when you don't vibrate lower. So every time you vibrate higher, now you opening doors to this opportunity. Now you connecting and networking like this. Now it's just here. It's always here. It's never there. So it's just like, man, this journey is it can be a roller coaster with no seatbelt, or it could be a roller coaster with a seatbelt. Either way it go, once you get on, you gotta wait to the end of it. So you.
Yeah, man. And it's just like you were saying too, if yeah, it might be scary, the future things you want to do might be scary, it might be you might have a good reason, I don't want to say a good reason for the fear, but don't use that to deter you from going after it. That's the thing about it. You can't use that, don't let that fear deter you from going after it. Use it as a tailwind, not a headwind. You know,
Yep.
like yeah, I might, this might be daunting. Like they always say, if your dreams don't scare you just a little bit, you ain't dreaming big enough.
Here we go.
They're designed to. You're supposed to be a little fearful, not fearful, but just like, dang, this is a lot.
Can
But
I really?
can I really do this? You know what I mean? But if you didn't have the vision then you couldn't. The vision is there because you can do it. You got the vision, you got the thought, so of course you can get it done. And it's designed to be a slightly, like daunting, because it's like how much you have, what do you got what it takes? You got to show that you have what it takes to get it done. It's not just going to be placed right in front of you and you can just walk to it like it's easily. Nah, that's not what's supposed to happen. I remember I used to work with this cat, good dude, man. Like, music band, great, good. They had a good band too. We did a couple songs together, and yeah, it was dope. But there was something he said one time. He was like, there were so many. If I was designed to get it, then there would be so many. Like basically, if he was designed, if the band was designed to make it big, then all these obstacles wouldn't be put in his place. And I was like, nah, man. Like those obstacles are to see how much.
That's how it goes.
Do you have if you have what it takes?
Mhm.
Like, are you going to just let this little thing, this little rock in front of you, keep you from stepping over it or kicking it to the side? Or are you going? Is it going to be is it a boulder? And you can't, you're not even willing to climb over it or figure a way around it. Like these things are designed put in front of you to see how much you have. Are you willing to, to get it done? It's like Eddie Murphy, how he said he never had a plan B. He never had a plan B. Like his plan A was to get where he is. You start and that's part of that's part of the thing where when you're growing up and you might tell your mom or your sibling or whatever, this is your, like, you want to make it big, you want to do this, you want to do that, and then like that's good and everything, but make sure you got something to fall back on. Like that's them putting their fear onto you.
Yeah.
Because that they can't see it in their eyes, because that's too big for them to comprehend. So they're telling you to, okay, make sure that you got something to fall back on, and just in case you don't make it. And then subconsciously, what does that do?
Mhm.
Anytime a obstacle comes up, man, I guess you know what? I can't even. Yeah, you start waving the white flag and giving up, because you look at it as it's just a roadblock, when it's really just, okay, you know what? Let me get this sledgehammer and beat this wall down. If you got somebody constantly telling you, no matter, go after your dreams, no matter what, think about that. Think the difference of that. Like if you got two kids, right? One parent is telling their kid to make sure you got something to fall back on just in case you don't get there. The other parent is telling them you go after your dreams and goals no matter what it takes. If this is what you want to do, you go after it no matter what it takes. Think about that, though, the difference of both of those, you know what I'm saying, the mindsets of both of those kids. That one kid that the parents told him to go after no matter what it takes, he don't have a plan B. He don't have a plan B. His plan A, I'm going after it, I'm getting it done no matter what it takes, because that's what's been instilled in him. The kid who was told to, make sure you got something to fall back on, he might go 2 or 3 steps and get to a certain level, but as soon as something happens bad or not in his favor, let me start working on this my plan B, because that's something my plan A ain't working. That's the power of having good people making sure that they are instilling you with that confidence, that that drive, and helping you, like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Nah, I'm going after it. It's important, man. It's about it. So no matter how scary, it might be slightly scary, but it's designed to, it's designed to be a little bit to test your faith, to test your wills, to see if you got what it takes. Because if it ain't a little bit scary, you ain't dreaming big enough. Dream bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Big talk.
Hey, I just want to ask, you said something a while ago, Ty. I think it was either on call or it was just one of the days we was chopping it up. And I think this applies to a lot of how we can get to our future self. And it's simple, but if you think about it, you said, let's just say the way you broke it down was we was talking about money. You said, don't let your zero be your bottom. Let's just say your bottom is 5,000 or 10,000.
Yep.
And what that means and what he said from my perspective is, don't let rock bottom be your bottom. Raise your standards.
Right.
So when you raise your standards for us, you know what I mean? If we all just wanted to be, I don't know, we wanted to be 200 pounds, 10% weight. You didn't have no goal on when you was going to get it done. You just wanted to get it done. Yeah, but if you raise your standards, all right, well, yeah, I'm going to get it done, but I got to get it done in 6 months. You ain't just staying at this lower vibrational thought mindset to be like, oh, you know what I mean? No, raise your standards. Stop allowing yourself, like you said, there may be a little fear in what you got to do, but raise your standards, because you are very much so deserving of everything that you look and achieve and try to do. And I just thought about it while you was talking. I'm like, dog, that literally can apply to everything. Just raise your standards, bro. If it's dealing with women, ladies, if it's dealing with men, if it's a job, if it's the type of car you drive, it's the food that you eat, it's the type of money that you spend. Raise your standards of what's good for you. And I think, man, that's, like I said, it's powerful, bro, but it's so simple. But when you think on the grand scheme of things, why not?
100%. You got to raise that zero. A lot of times we get to that zero, like our zero is your actual zero, but you got to make sure that you got some cushion. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that, you're not getting to all the way to the, like you said, all the way to the bottom. Make sure that, your bottom, okay, there's still a little room down there. You know what I mean? You ain't completely down and out. So like you said, raise your standards so that way, if you do get to a point where you if you ever get to that point, that okay, this is as low as that I want to get. I'm gonna make sure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah, man.
But like, bro, and I actually want to say I'm grateful that you even said it, bro, because it's been a thought that, along with these books, simple sentences, simple statements can be impactful. You know what I mean? And we all share different, perspectives of our lives, but wherever we get our information from, sometimes something so simple can be, no pun intended, so profound. So it's just like, hey, use these gems that we be dropping to just get y'all one step ahead. It's 1% better every day, like the Atomic Habit says. You know what I mean? So raise that standard though at the same time.
Yeah. And another thing too, man, I like to call it the TT, man. You got to get rid of that traditional thinking.
Okay.
And that's just something that we all got the same opportunities as the white man got, or the black man, or this or what. So we all have the same opportunities. We got this thing called YouTube. We got TikTok. We got all of this information to help you achieve any of goals or any ideas or anything that you can even possibly think of now. And there's a ways of getting to that. So like we said earlier too, man, formulate that plan, put that plan together, and get that traditional thinking out your mind. Like you said, Ty, it's okay to have the little fear, but don't let it overpower your brain to where it's like, okay, I quit, I'm done. I ain't even get started yet. I don't even want to try it because you're scared. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? We was taught as a culture, like we didn't go after things because we always had some type of fear of not the unknown. And people are scared of the unknown. The unknown is something that'll take anybody like to a place where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then you talk yourself out of it. You know what I mean? So the unknown is a very scary place for a lot of people. And now you have some people that'll jump off the edge. They just fearless, they just do what they need to do. So that's what the 1%ers are right now. That's those people that jumped off the edge and was like, look, I'm going to do it, and they fail a couple of times, but every time they bump their head, they get right back up and keep it doing and try something else, try something new or whatever. So just always try. That's the biggest thing. Like my mama always told me, man, you can't ever say that you fail if you try. You feel me? And I tried to get it done. It didn't work. So I don't call that a failure. I call that me trying to make something happen. And it happened. It didn't happen. If it didn't happen, that's okay. So yeah, man, it's just a matter of getting rid of that traditional thinking of I can't, and that and my mom always told me that too. A can is not in the man's vocabulary. It's not even supposed to be anywhere in your brain to say that I can't do something. I get on my kids' ass all the time. Y'all, nobody can say that C word up in here. We don't say that. So we believe, we know, you got to use those type of words, those type of affirmations, and always speak over yourself, man. Give yourself affirmations saying, I am what, I am this, I am that, I am that, speak positive over your life, man. And your future gonna come right before you know it. Just, but like we brought up a couple weeks ago, Ty brought that out, and I said it earlier today. Work on that plan whenever you get off. What you doing with those hours after you're done? Put that plan together, and you watch. It's gonna grow brick by brick. That's how you get a box of Legos right now. You can build whatever you want, just Lego by Lego. You know what I'm saying? And just putting it all together. You're like, oh shit, look what we built. But it took a couple of hours to get there, but you did it. So it's just the same way, man. Like I said, life don't come with instructions. You have to write the instructions. You're the one that gonna write them. So put that in your mind, and let's get this plan. And email us any of y'all little progress, everything that y'all got, man. The progress, we got our email address out there. Write it in the comments. Hey, man, this is what, this talk helped me, did this, and that. Man, we love to hear those type of things, man. We all here for that, man. And that'll spark our fire even more, So yeah, that's what I want to say, bro.
Real.
Man, and I guess this is kind of just the resounding statement that we all said today, man. Like, all you got is now. All you have is right now. And no matter when no matter when you're watching this, when you listen to this, when you're seeing this, all you got is right now. Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Yesterday is history,
Say it again.
Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Right now is all that you have. So whatever it is that you can do that's going to propel you into where you want to get, it's right here, right now. That's it. Bottom line. So your future self is waiting on you. You got to do it right now. You got to start acting on it right now. And as long as you put together a string of right now, a string of right nows will get you to where you want to get. A good string.
Right.
Keep going. You'll get there. But you just got to do it right now.
Real deal.
It's like that.
Real deal.
It's one of them ones.
Man.
One.
Yeah.
What the young dude gonna say? One of the ones.
One of them ones, baby.
You can feel it. You know what I mean? You can feel it. I mean, the vibe was real. The energy is real, man, in this one. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Continue to, you know, like I said, any kind of message, anything that you want to say, add value to the show, anything. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. The Instagram is probably the best way. Our email is on the IG page as well. But the Bro Foundation on IG, you know what I mean? That's the best way. Like I said, we here, you know. So man, high value, you know, high value, high level. Shout out to 19 Keys, and you know, this was another one of them, you know, one of them ones, like you said. So we appreciate y'all for continuing to tap in, share, like, subscribe, save the videos, whatever you can do. We appreciate it. So yeah, on that note, mindset, complex, Jay Hunter. Peace, y'all. Much love.
Peace.
Peace.